Yo, what's going on, ChavevzzSlovakia? It's good to see you guys here. This is an exciting video, man. 15 strangest people caught on To Catch a Predator. So this one we're doing in 2 parts. All right, we'll do just 10-minute segments. We'll hit about the 10-minute mark in this one and we'll roll on. We'll do the next part, put it up tomorrow or the day after. And let's get into it, dude. I've always wanted to do one of these videos, and finally we found one that we could react to. So this is nice, man. Let's do it. Oh, this
Number
is gonna be
15,
satisfying.
Jeffrey Stacy.
I'm gonna go up and get ready, okay?
Okay.
Wait at the bar for like 5 minutes and then follow me up, okay?
Jeff Stacy met who he thought was a 15-year-old during the team's sting in Ohio. By the time the conversation was over, Stacy had already agreed to meet with the girl. Only hours later, Stacy showed up at the sting house, prepared to do whatever he wanted with the girl. Instead, he met Chris Hansen, who had some pretty tough questions for him. To all those present, they all quickly discovered Stacy was not the man he portrayed himself to be. In fact, he had given them fake photos and lied about his age, stating he was 21 when he was actually 27. He also lied, saying the girl said she was 18, even though the chat log clearly shows him stating she was 15. Throughout the entire interview with Hansen, Stacy either played dumb or blew off Hansen's worries, acting as if nothing he said was wrong. Stacy has gotten attention across the internet, in part for his humorous voice, face, and inability to grasp how seriously in trouble he was. Even after he was taken into custody, Stacy refused to admit he had done anything wrong, but the court proved otherwise. Number 14, Michael Warriker.
Can you get me a drink, please? Did you remember the handcuffs?
Oh,
we have a lot to talk about,
dude. Get him, Chris.
Have a seat.
Go ahead. This is punch, right?
Yeah.
Unlike the
You pouring yourself some punch before you go to jail? You dirty
this man's
son of a
words are
bitch.
more strange than his appearance on the show. Michael Warriker was found by the team during their sting operation in Long Beach, California. The signs of Warriker's fantasies were apparent immediately. Warriker arrived at the Long Beach house, and Chris Hansen immediately confronted him. Hansen clearly shows disbelief in Warriker's online behavior and persona, but Warriker brushes these off. He also tried to brush off the fact that the decoy said she was 13, claiming he believed it was a ruse. Warriker's attitude is just truly unsettling about his appearance on To Catch a Predator, as he constantly attempts to justify both him being there and speaking that way to someone who is claiming to be a 13-year-old. He was taken into custody following the interview and pled no contest to his actions.
No contest. I did it. He really did have the chat logs, and I'm going to jail.
13, David K.
Gotta ask, you still gonna be up for tonight after seeing your girlfriend?
We'll see.
Oh yeah, giggle
This
now,
rabbi
old
from
bastard.
Maryland began chatting with a decoy posing as a 13-year-old
Oh my
boy.
God.
Kay traveled to the team's sting operation
Oh my God.
in Hurton, Virginia. Once entering the home, Chris Hansen noticed how confident Kay was, even commenting on how Kay was walking around as if he owned the place. He is even seen laughing at the decoy's suggestion if he'd still be up for tonight after the rabbi sees his girlfriend. The sound of his laugh sounds cunning and borderline maniacal. Unfortunately for him, Kay's confidence is shattered once he turns around and finds Chris Hansen ready to talk to him. During the interview, Kay remains mostly silent, either unwilling or unable to speak. Once Hansen reveals the cameras, Kay becomes agitated and attempts to push away the cameras.
Yeah,
the security steps in and stops him before Kay leaves. Hansen stated for months following, Kay made phone calls to Hansen's office. Police were not present at this operation, so all the attendees were allowed to leave, hence why Kay was able to freely call Hansen and harass him.
I didn't know they did any of these where the cops weren't present. That sounds really dangerous.
Kay was able to freely call Hansen and harass him. Number 12, James Rutherford.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm just gonna go finish getting ready. I'll be right there.
Where are you?
I'll be right back. Just sit at the bar and I'll be right there.
Come here.
Unfortunately for the public, predators can end up having careers we wish they never had. James Rutherford was a 6th grade teacher from Ohio when he began chatting with a decoy posing as a 13-year-old girl. When he showed up to the Sting house, it was evident by his actions outside he had a feeling something was wrong. This was proven true when he walked in the door and found Chris Hansen there. Rutherford went into detail how he was going through a divorce and the stress had caused him to delve into these habits. The chat log revealed how these fantasies somewhat played into his career life.
I don't know if divorce is a good enough excuse, man.
About how he coaches the girls' track team. What's interesting about his interview is how honest Rutherford seems to be about all this. After the show aired, a mother of one of Rutherford's students called Dateline and thanked them, stating she believed Rutherford had been attempting to groom her daughter for some time. Rutherford knows what's going to happen and states he will not survive locked up and that he has ruined the rest of his life. Hansen even appears to take some pity on Rutherford, giving a card with his email and office number. Rutherford was indeed sentenced, and it is reported he has been seeking counseling since his release. Number 11, Joe Wonderler.
I remember this one. I've actually seen this one, dude.
How you doing? How you doing? I'm Michel Siebert. I ran into. I'm just have a seat.
This man has some truly twisted
and then just go sit down. You're going to jail.
fantasies. Joe Wonderler was an intelligence officer when he was found by the team during their Virginia stakeout. Wonderler spoke with a decoy for nearly a week, making several bizarre requests. People on the internet know him as the Dog Man. Chris Hansen cannot hide his disbelief at the man's statements in the chat log. Obviously confused and disgusted, Wonderler claims he just came over to talk, but we all know the real reason he was there. His excuse for his talk was simply, "I'm a lonely guy." Hansen shows little sympathy for Wonderler, which has been the same with the viewers of the show. The decoy who chatted with Wonderler during the week said by the time Wonderler arrived at the house, she was emotionally and mentally exhausted by the chats, calling them the worst and most vile chat I've ever had to sit through. Number 10, Michel Siebert.
You know, you look familiar to me.
Oops.
What?
Oops.
Oops.
He said oops.
Michael, right?
Oops, sorry.
Oops, sorry.
I want to talk to you for a little bit.
Oops, sorry.
Michel Siebert was an unemployed computer technician when he appeared on the show during To Catch a Predator's sting operation in Riverside, California. As per all episodes, once Chris Hansen completed his interview, Siebert was taken into custody once he left the house. 8 months later, they were in the process of conducting another stakeout in Long Beach. One particular respondent engaged in a conversation with who he thought was a 13-year-old girl. His conversation was awful, to put it mildly. The confrontation between Chris Hansen and Siebert has gained viral attention, both due to the absurdity of the situation, along with Siebert's hilarious reaction. Humor aside, let's remember Siebert was already caught from the Riverside operation. Not only that, but he openly talked about his legal appearances to the decoy. Siebert was once again taken into custody and faced new legal troubles in Long Beach. Number 9.
Okay, so what he's trying to say is the guy appeared in 2 different cases, in 2 different sting operations. They got the same dude. And then when he was on the second show, he talked about his legal troubles from the first time he was here. No wonder he appeared like that. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Lord.
Donald Morrison.
Chocolate chips my favorite.
Mine too.
When I make them for Christmas, I make about 10 dozen of them.
Whoa. Why so many?
Because we usually have family in from the up north. We had like 14 of us here this year.
Holy cow.
Can I get you a glass of milk to go along with
God
those
damn it,
cookies?
Chris Hansen.
As To Catch a Predator gained recognition, it can come as no surprise.
Can I get you some cookies and some police? Because your ass is going to jail.
People being caught in the stings began to suspect they could be entering a setup and appear on the show. Donald Morrison was one such individual. During a sting in Florida, Morrison was caught in a chat with a decoy, posing to be a 15-year-old girl, almost immediately asking if she wanted to meet up. Morrison came over to the house late in the night and immediately made himself comfortable. Surprisingly, his calm demeanor continued even after Chris Hansen confronted him.
Really?
Morrison remained polite and was even open with Hansen about his past record. Morrison also admitted he knew he was on To Catch a Predator and made no attempts to hide his face or flee when the cameras came out. Morrison's story seemed different, as he appeared to know he had a problem and needed help. After the interview concluded, he thanked Hansen for setting him straight and said he hoped this would give him the help he needed. 6 years after his appearance on the show, Morrison was once again taken into custody for breaking the terms of his status. Number 8. Marvin Lacan.
Where are you?
Oh man, is this the naked dude? He's only number 8 on the list?
They'll go with the cool whip. It was kind of a little surprise.
You want to explain yourself?
Oh,
A
my
truly
Lord.
bizarre entry, even for a list of this content. Marvin Lacan was caught soliciting a decoy, posing as a 14-year-old. When Lacan entered the house, he stripped to nothing and then proceeded to search for the decoy. As the actress told Lacan to take a seat, he continued to follow the sound of her voice, as if ready to get down to business. Before he can find his supposed partner,
God,
Chris Hansen walks in and demands Lacan explains himself. Immediately, Lacan's attitude changes, and when asked what he's doing, he responds, making a mistake. Hansen doesn't hide his disgust at Lacan's interest in the decoy. Marvin remains calm, looking as if he knows he's caught, and there's no point fighting. His bizarre fantasies are enough to make anyone sick. Despite Lacan's insistence, he'll never do it again. Hansen and the audience understandably don't believe him. However, he might be correct, since as soon as he leaves the house, he was quickly taken into custody. Number 7.
Alright, so we'll finish the top 7 later. This wasn't exactly what I expected when I started this compilation, but it's all good. It's my top 15s. Dude, this is crazy, bro. To Catch a Predator is nuts, man. It never ceases to amaze me that these people are showing up to the house of what they believe to be a 13, 14, or 15-year-old girl. That shit is crazy to me, man. Chris Hansen, thanks for making the world a safer place, dude. To Catch a Predator, sadly we don't have any shows like this anymore, but I mean, even when they mentioned that, they'd had some of these episodes that aired where there were no police present. That's just actually kind of surprising to me, because I thought this always ended in people getting arrested, and I can't believe people even did this and didn't get charged that harshly for this after they appeared on the show, where they showed up, and maybe it's trouble proving intent, but I have no idea. But that's nuts, man. We'll definitely do a part 2 of this one. I'll see y'all then, ChavevzzSlovakia. Peace. Good Lord.